So hello guys, what's up and welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's me, your girl Barrister Neze, and this is Nezeville. So a very interesting news broke on social media a few days ago, and what seemed like a private matter has now stirred significant public interest. This discourse has both a moral and a legal angle to it. And what better place to table and break down such a combination? Oh yes, you guessed right, Nezeville. So if you're new here, you're seeing my face for the first time, or if you've been watching without subscribing, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, give this video a big thumbs up already, drop all your comments down in the comment section, and stay glued, for we have so much more coming your way. Let us proceed. Chief Doctor Engineer Hmnn IWUANYANWU is a Nigerian engineer, business mogul, and politician. Oh yes, he is a chieftain of the People's Democratic Party, and he was the oldest member of its board of trustees. Chief Anyanwu was born in September of 1942, and he hails from Imo State, southeastern region of Nigeria. He was deeply involved in the Nigerian Civil War. After the war ended, he founded the Harold and Eric Construction Company, one of Nigeria's foremost indigenously owned construction companies. He dabbled into the media business and became the publisher of one of Nigeria's leading dailies, the Daily Champion. Who read or who knows of Champion newspaper? Were you a Champion person, or the Sun, or the Guardian, or This Day? Let me know down in the comment section. Or would you rather spend your time reading Hints and Hats and the Encomium? Or were you that one who would just pick an Ovation magazine, admiring and fantasizing over lifestyles that you could not afford? Which one of these were you? Let me know down in the comment section. So Chief Anyanwu was not a small personality at all. He built a very large business empire spanning publishing, construction, oil and gas, aviation, name it. And he had assets and investments scattered all across Nigeria and all over the world. He is considered one of the richest Igbo men in the history of Nigeria. In April of 2023, Chief Anyanwu was appointed the President General of the Ohanaeze Ndigbo Worldwide Group. Igbo Kwedu, hey, Kwedu, Ruedu, Zwadu, Kwezwedu, Inyo. So the Ohanaeze Ndigbo Group is the highest, the apex, socio-cultural Igbo group that protects the interest of Igbos worldwide. Chief Anyanwu was first married to a woman called Lady Eudora Nnenna, the wife of his youth and of little beginnings. They were happily married for 40 years until she painfully passed on the 28th of August 2011 after succumbing to her battle with cancer. She was only 63 years of age. Shortly after the passing of his wife, about 2 years of widowerhood, Chief Anyanwu decided to take another wife. At this point, he was 72 years of age. Honestly, people were expecting that Chief Anyanwu's choice for another wife will be a mature woman like her, maybe a fellow widow, or a big mama, a big mommy that maybe never got married. After all, he has had many children already from his first wife. But the shock and the horror on people's faces could not be concealed when Chief Anyanwu presented 26-year-old Frances Chinoyerem as his bride, a girl whom they had an almost 50-year age gap between them. And so this sent many tongues wagging. A lot of people were not very impressed with Chief Anyanwu. They were like, is it that many men have pedo tendencies? Or how can we explain this reoccurrence, for Christ's sake? Of all the women to pick as a wife, is this one that is younger than most of your children, old enough not to just be your grandchild, but even maybe your great-grandchild? And what was painful for a lot of these people, they were like, it is not like Chief is looking for maybe a young girl, maybe he doesn't have enough children, or, he needs more children. His first wife gave him enough children, so it's not like he was looking for one young girl of childbearing age for the purpose of bearing children. He had more than enough. So if this is not wickedness, if this is not arurala, how can this be explained that these very old men come on at 72? If you add 80 years to that, is that not 80 years? A man that dies at 80, will someone come and say, hey, he was such a small boy, he died so young? Why would these men bring in young ladies and plow them into early widowhood and make their children not to be raised by a father just because of, what do we call this? So these set of people were mad. Social media was shaking. Tongues were wagging, lips were vented. But on the other hand, there were this set of people who didn't see anything wrong at all with what Chief did or his choice of a wife. They were like, please, this is a 26-year-old woman. She is not 17. This is a full mature adult that made a choice. Let us not be blind to the fact that this move will change this woman's life, change her family, change her destiny. Why would you want a man of Chief's personality and standing to go and bring in a woman that has children from another man? Before you know it, wahala, bata, ashirimashi, akiko. No. It's better for him to marry a tear-rubber girl to avoid her dying. So let us share our thoughts at this point. What do you think about the man choosing to get married to a lady whom there is an almost 50-year age gap between them? Do you think that it is too much and it doesn't look okay? Or do you think that there is absolutely nothing wrong with that? Let us share our thoughts down in the comment section. And so on the 14th of September 2013, Chief IWUANYANWU and Frances had their traditional wedding ceremony in Owerri, Imo State. And the very next week, they held their church wedding at the Anglican Church in Ikeduru Diocese. Both ceremonies were well attended by dignitaries and the who is who of society. Frances then went ahead to bear a son for Chief 3 years after they got married. They named him Kamsi, and their marriage lasted 11 years before Chief passed away in July of last year, 2024. According to Chief's eldest son, Jidechukwu, his dad passed away after a brief illness, which was triggered shortly after he undertook a strenuous 20-minute trek to visit freedom fighter Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, who has been in DSS custody for many years. His son said that Chief IWUANYANWU, his father, had gone to pay a visit to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and men of the DSS refused him from driving into the premises. So he had to park his car far away and engage in a long walk, which strained his father's heart very heavily, leading him to be hospitalized from where he passed on. Chief IWUANYANWU was laid to rest on Friday, the 1st of November, 2024. May God rest his soul. Now, when a wealthy and powerful man like Chief passes on, the next anticipated step that everyone will be anxious to hear is how will his wealth and his estate be distributed amongst the surviving members of his family and his beneficiaries. Who will get what? And most times, a battle for his estate will ensue. But no, there will be no battles in this case, because Chief had made sure of that. Being an aged, wealthy, highly educated man with children from different mothers, Chief IWUANYANWU knew better than to have his family torn apart in a scuffle for his wealth. And so he left behind a will, a waterproof, airtight will catering for all the people that he left behind. This is a part of what the will states. The couple's son has been granted ownership of the family's Abuja residence. Meanwhile, the London property is to be sold with the proceeds distributed as follows: 60% for the education of Iwuanyawu's youngest son, 30% to his first son, Jide, and 10% to Ezinne, the current occupant, to support her relocation. Iwuanyanwu directed that the glass house near the Oji flyover be transformed into a public trust, and an independent board will oversee the property's use for charitable and community-focused initiatives. Well done, sir. Other valuable assets spread across Abuja, Imo, and other locations in Nigeria have been equitably allocated amongst Iwuanyawu's 5 children. Good and fair. Among the notable provisions is the bequest of the iconic Legacy House on Port Harcourt Road, Owerri, to Frances, his wife. However, she is expressly forbidden from selling the property. So she can't sell the property, but it's hers, okay? She can transfer title or ownership. All right, fair enough. Now, alongside the residence, she also inherits ownership of Majil Furniture, a business previously run by Iwuanyawu's late first wife, Eudora, as well as partial stakes in real estate assets located in Oji, Works Layout, and Naze, all in Imo State. Now, this is the controversial part. Open your ears. The will stipulates that should Frances choose to remarry, she will automatically forfeit all these inheritances. Now, people were very impressed with how detailed and clear Chief Anyawu's will was. Very unambiguous. It was going all well, fine and good, until they got a glimpse of that condition that he placed on his wife to inherit him. And then the internet went berserk. Now, legally speaking, what Chief Iwuanyanwu did regarding his wife's inheritance is called a conditional will, and it's 100% legal. So a conditional will is a kind of will that takes effect only if a specific condition is met or adhered to. If that condition is not fulfilled, the will becomes or remains invalid and inapplicable. Now, according to Chief Iwuanyawu's wish, his wife is entitled to inherit him only if she stays a widow for the rest of her life. If she dares to remarry, she loses all her rights to his inheritance. She must give it up and leave empty-handed. Now, as expected, so many people felt a certain way about this clause. They were like, what sort of wickedness is this? How do you explain this kind of selfishness, even in death? They were like, sir, you have experienced what it means to be bereaved of a spouse. At 70-something year old man, you lost your wife 1 year plus. You already had another woman by your side. Within 2 years, you have remarried. You went and picked this small girl that you senior with almost 50 years, that is younger than your children, and you remarried. You moved on. But now your wife is in the same shoes, and you are prohibiting her, you are putting condition upon her, so she will not move on. They were like, secondly, you inherited your wife's properties when she passed. There were no conditions. She passed of cancer, so she had time to put all these things in place. She didn't condition you. The company your ex-wife, your deceased wife, was managing, Majil Furniture, you have willed it to your new wife. There were no conditions. But see what you are now doing to somebody else. Thirdly, this set of people that were against this clause in this conditional will. They were like, this lady in question is still very young. She's still in her 30s. How can you put that kind of punishment upon her? She has served her purpose in your life. You have enjoyed her during your lifetime. And besides, she has only one child. She might want to get married and have more children. Even the vows you took was till death do you part. So why do you want to keep her bound and in captive, even in debt? This set of people concluded that Chief never loved Frances. That if he genuinely cared about her, then he would want her to be happy and he would want the best for her and he would not condition her that way. And yes, saying that he didn't say she should not marry, he just said don't marry with my property, is still unfair. That he should have left it open. Let her be the one to make a choice of remaining back in her husband's family and not remarrying, rather than putting her in such a tight spot. They were like, these older daddies, these older grandpas are not smiling. Oh, this was the same thing that our legend Ojukwu did to his beautiful wife Bianca when he left her a young widow. It is alleged that his will also had such similar conditions. They were like, here, Regina D, sure you are seeing what these men are doing. Oh. But on the other hand, some people didn't see anything bad with what Chief had done. They were like, yes, it serves these young ladies right. These young ladies that will leave their mates and marry people who are 50, 60, 40 years older than them. It helps to check the men and protect them from being used as agents of ambition. When these men die, they jump out and move on to the next guy and live their best lives. They were like, what Chief did was very essential and crucial, very important to keep his legacy, his wealth within his family, instead of allowing a situation where this woman would take his sweat and move it to another man and put it under the control of another man. They were like, Chief IWUANYANWU did not say that she cannot date or she cannot dance kiriwa. He just said, please do not marry another man with my sweat. So the woman is free to get one better mechanic. The type that Two-Face Idibia said that he is. Don't be me talk, you know? Someone that can be on standby, you change the plug, you change the oil, clean the oil filter, service the machine. What is the woman using marriage for? You have a child, you have generational wealth, you can be flying in and out of the country, enjoying yourself. Now going on vacation, keep one boy toy for exercise purposes. Please, please, please. The woman does not have any problem. There is nothing that Chief did wrong, I beg. Now, this was what this other set of people had to say. So what are your thoughts? Do you think that that clause was highly and very unfair on his young widow who just had one child and is still in her 30s? Or do you think that what he did was very good to protect his assets and his estate from falling into the hands of another guy? Is it an offer that if you were presented with, you will reject? Is it acceptable to you, or is it over your dead body? Again, what do you think about a 50-year age gap in marriage? Do you think it is exploitation and it is unfair? Or do you think that there is still absolutely nothing wrong with it as long as the two parties involved are consenting adults? Do drop all your thoughts down in the comment section. So guys, yes, we have come to the end of today's video. If you're new here, you're seeing my face for the first time, or if you've been watching without subscribing, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, give this video a big thumbs up, drop all your comments down in the comment section, and stay glued, for we have so much more coming your way. It's me, your girl, Barrister Neze, and this is Nezeville. I'll see you guys in my next one. For now, bye.